Hey guys, it's Michael from Fire and Brilliance, and today's topic was actually inspired by my daughter, and I'll tell you why in a bit. But the topic is actually 5 ways to avoid losing your jewelry. So it's going to be very fun. I'm going to get right into it. But before doing that, I want to make sure, again, if you've been following our channel for a long time, please help the algorithm and support our channel. Obviously, we are doing everything and providing you information of everything under the sun related to jewelry. So if you're looking for this information, you've been following us for a long time, then please subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, leave a comment below. And if you know someone that actually is looking for this information, then please feel free to share it because it's important to us that you do support us. So that being said, we are also on TikTok, Instagram, Pinterest, Twitter, as well as Facebook. Definitely check us out for the freshest content there as well. We do post other things there. If you want to see other types of jewelry and other types of jewelry content, then definitely check us out there as well. Again, I'm going to get right into it for you. Today's topic was inspired by my daughter. 5 ways to avoid losing your jewelry. Anyways, Valentine's just passed, and my daughter, who is turning 6 this year, she really wanted this specific ring. So I actually custom made this ring for her. It's a gorgeous 5-stone setting, rose gold with hearts all over it. And I made sure I told her, hey, this is a very expensive item, and if I'm going to make it for you, please make sure you take care of it. That said, that night when she came, at night prior to brushing her teeth and all that, I was actually going to the restroom and about to take a shower, and I noticed that her ring was on the sink. And immediately that was a red flag for me. I had to make sure that I went down on my knees and talked to her again and said, hey, if I'm going to do this for you, make sure you know how to take care of it, because once it goes in the sink, in the plumbing, then guess what? It's gone. So that's the reason why this inspired me to actually create this video, and I'm going to get right into it for you, okay? Let's go over the 4 top common places where people tend to lose their jewelry. The first place is anywhere in the restroom, sinks, or showers. People do tend to take off the jewelry, their earrings, and necklaces, bracelets, as well as rings when they're about to take a shower or brush their teeth, and place it on the sink by the faucet. This is a big no-no. Definitely don't do that, because why? Especially if you have a sink where anything can just fall right through. Many times it'll go directly into the plumbing, and it's very difficult to retrieve it. Okay, people lose their jewelry all of the time in the restroom, sinks, faucets, as well as showers. So avoid doing that. The second place that people actually lose their jewelry in are in places of big bodies of water, such as the ponds, the lakes, the rivers, the pools, the oceans. Okay, so it's going to be much easier to recover a piece of jewelry, especially if you lost it in a pool. Hopefully it didn't go through the filtering system and you have to look for it through there. But if it's at the bottom of the pool, it'll be much easier to recover. But if you were to lose it in a pond, in a lake, in the ocean, that would be much, much more difficult to find. Many people, once they lose it there, it's gone. And the third place that many people tend to lose their jewelry are places with a lot of physical activity, such as the gym or a sports club. And that's obviously a lot of common sense, especially if you're being physical, if you're playing a sport, if you're working out. If you're wearing a lot of jewelry, then it can get snagged, and many times it feels very seamless where it falls off your body. You may not even know, especially if you're working out and you're in the zone of working out, you're listening to music, you're not really paying attention to your jewelry. It happens all the time. People find the jewelry and they're lost and found at the gyms and the sports clubs. Hopefully if people didn't steal it, right? So when they do tend to lose it, it's because of that. Your necklace can get snagged and accidentally get snagged and fall off your neck. Your earrings, if the backings are not tight, it may fall off, and therefore your earrings may pop off your ears. For your bracelets, if it accidentally snags on, like, for example, a bench press or something, if you're doing a curl, if it accidentally snags on something while you're in the zone of working out, it'll fall off your wrist. And obviously your ring. If you're wearing a ring and you're working out and you're holding, basically a curl bar or something, especially if your ring's quite thin, it can actually break. although it's made of metal, it can break, and that can sometimes fall off your fingers. So again, if you are working out and at the gym, these are the places that people do tend to lose their jewelry. And the fourth location is actually not a real location. It's just more or less people that tend to look for convenience, right? So in other words, if you're just at a friend's house, or if you are over at a family member's house and having dinner, or even if you're at a restaurant and you just don't feel like having that on, your earrings or your necklace or your ring, and you tend to just put it on the table or put it somewhere because of convenience, if you're not mindful of where you put it, many times you'll end up losing it. So those are the four most common areas where people tend to lose their jewelry. Sinks, showers, restrooms, big bodies of water, at the gyms, or sports clubs, as well as anywhere where you want to, where it's convenient for you to place it. So that said, what are the 5 ways to avoid losing your jewelry? Obviously, let's cover what we had just said. The first 3 ways is, number 1, to avoid taking off your jewelry when you're in the restroom, by the sink, or in the shower. The second is to avoid wearing your jewelry when you're going to do sports activities in the water. If you're going to go swimming, if you're going to go to the ocean, the river, or the pool, if you're going to go boating, if you're going to do anything like that, try to avoid wearing your jewelry if you can. The third thing is to avoid wearing your jewelry when you go work out, when you go to the gym. If you're going to be athletic that day, if you're trying to be physical that day, if you're playing a sport that day, if you're going to a boxing match that day, whatever it is that you're into, do not wear your jewelry, because then that way you can avoid losing it altogether. Now, the fourth item as to how you can avoid losing your jewelry is by placing your jewelry in an assigned, designated area. Some people have a designated safe in their home or somewhere else. Some people may have a designated jewelry box, or some people have just a personal space where they will place their very luxury items or any other important documents or something like that, where they can put anything that they feel as if it's important to them in a designated area. So if you are going to take off your jewelry, then be mindful of putting it into your designated area so that you can always go back to that place and know for sure that it is there. Now, the fifth point to really emphasize, point number 4, is that what if you're on vacation, or what if you are not home or at close by that designated area or that safe place where you would normally put your luxury items, right? And you have to take it off for some reason. If that is the case, then the 5th tip as to how you can avoid losing your jewelry is just to be mindful of where you put it. In other words, if you do take it off, be mindful and make a conscious effort to remember where you placed it, because many times people lose their jewelry is because of the convenience of taking it off. And many times they'll just put on a table, a countertop, on the fireplace, by a sink, or wherever it is that you put it, and then they end up forgetting where they placed it. And by the time they do remember and come back, it may be gone because of theft, or they may just not remember altogether where they left it at all. And many times is how they end up losing their jewelry. So those are the 5 tips as to 5 ways as to how you can avoid losing your jewelry. And why is this important? Why am I going over this? It's important is because jewelry is a luxury item that can easily be lost. It is similar. It's a smaller physical item by nature with a very high end price. So if it's important to you that you use obviously some of your money and investments or whatever it is that you did to purchase this jewelry, and on top of that, many times it's more than just financial value. It's a lot of emotional value, because it might be an engagement ring. It's very important to many people, and because not only it's a high-end, high-price, high-emotional type of value, but it can easily be lost because of the smaller physical nature of the item. So that's the reason why it's important. So if you are mindful about the 5 ways to avoid losing your jewelry, then you'll immediately increase your chances of not losing it at all. All right, so what do you think about what I just said? Is that going to be helpful for you? Have you lost your jewelry before, and is it part of the list that I had mentioned, or have you lost your jewelry in other places? And if you found them, definitely leave in the comment section below. Definitely share your story. It will be very interesting to know how other people lose their jewelry, or how other people have been able to avoid losing their jewelry. These type of stories, we do read your comments all of the time, and at the same time take this opportunity to leave a comment on the topic that you want us to cover. We do read every single comment, although we can't respond to all of them. We do read every single comment. So if you do have an idea that we feel as if more people may be interested in watching, then we may make a video just for you, because we do that all of the time. Okay, so that being said, subscribe to the channel, help us out, support us, help out the algorithm by clicking on the like button, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment below, and at the same time, follow us on TikTok, Instagram, Pinterest, Twitter, as well as Facebook, and I'll see you again next time. Goodbye.